Welcome everybody, my name's Catherine. This is my channel where I like to talk all things beauty and fragrance. I had been waiting to do this video because I wanted to make sure that I gave it the justice it deserved. Not too long ago, I did a review on a fragrance called Crabapple Blossom by Clive. It was my introduction into the world of Clive. I had never before heard of the brand. I had never experienced any of his fragrances, and ever since then I have been blown away and truly captivated by the world of Clive. I feel his line truly defines a niche perfumer. He, much like Creed, the fragrance line contains such history and such detail to everything that it's just so intriguing to me. It's not even that I have experienced that many of his fragrances, it's just learning about them and the company and how he produces the fragrances and the details and history behind almost everything that's involved. It's captivating to me. Another thing that I think is really cool about his fragrances is that nearly all of his fragrances are paired, so you have a masculine as well as a feminine version of the fragrance. I was a little disappointed that Crabapple Blossom didn't have that same situation, so hint hint, Clive. Regardless, if you want the more detailed history of Clive, please watch my Crabapple Blossom review. I dive much more deeply into the history and creation of the Clive perfume house. Tonight, what I'm going to be speaking of is the fragrance called 1872. 1872 perfume pays tribute to the year in which the original Royal Crown Company Perfumery was founded, and Queen Victoria recognized the fragrance house as a contribution to British excellence, and in doing so granted the use of her crown to be used as the emblem or cap of each of the fragrances, which Clive has also made use of. The three fragrances in his first collection, known as the original collection, included X #1 and 1872, which if you did want to experience the entire trilogy, you can get them in these mini sizes in a series from Neiman's, I believe. However, I'm not sure if you can get the feminine version or just the masculine. But regardless, and the bottles say on them which collection that they are a part of. Original collection, masculine. Of the three fragrances in the original collection, #1, which is known as the most expensive perfume in the world, X, and 1872 was my favorite. It just had such a clean and crisp, unique scent to it. It was unlike anything that I've ever experienced before. It just gives you a sort of feeling, and it's hard to articulate. It just puts you in kind of a state of, My friend Kevin was kind enough to send me a bottle of the small masculine version, and to be honest, I haven't worn the masculine version a lot, but have the same basic experience as I did to the feminine. It just obviously has that masculine take to it that I tend to lean more towards the feminine fragrances in terms of my preferences. So I've only worn it the once, but find it as enjoyable as I did the feminine version. But to begin with, in describing it, it's not a particularly modern fragrance, but it does have a classic eloquence to it. You can tell just in experiencing the fragrance that it is a luxury niche fragrance line. In smelling the fragrance, there is no doubt that it is a high quality concentrated perfume. You can tell that the perfume is created with much detail and care. Clive Christian prides himself on containing multiple notes and ingredients in each of his fragrances. They also are highly concentrated. They contain at least 20% perfume concentrate in each bottle. They are, depending on which fragrance you have, does depend on how much body that the fragrance carries. However, the longevity of these fragrances is so impressive. You apply them to your skin, you take a shower, the next day you still smell the fragrance remnant on your skin. It just tells you what high quality these fragrances are composed of. To begin with the masculine version, the fragrance was created by Geza Schwen. I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong. In 2001, it's considered a citrus woody scent. As I said, it contains 20% perfume concentrate. The top note in the masculine 1872 is petrograin. You smell the peach and the lavender with the petrograin, as well as the citrus notes in the fragrance, which is the lime, grapefruit, pineapple, and mandarin orange, interspersed with the rosemary, the black pepper, the nutmeg, and the galbanum. Initially, the scent really is well balanced between the petrograin, the citrus notes, as well as the lavender and the herbs and spices. It's crisp and energizing and clean and just reels you in. You want to experience more. The middle notes of 1872 masculine then is led with the clary sage. Clary sage was said to be used by Emperor Nero as a military tactic in energizing his troops. And with that in mind, this main note of clary sage is used, infused with the jasmine, neroli, and musk, as well as tagates and cyclamen to give you that boost of vitality and strength in the heart of this fragrance. At the base of 1872 masculine, you are transported into the English countryside, into the heart of the forest with scents such as freesia, cedarwood, sandalwood, olibanum, musk, patchouli, amber, and fresh labdanum. It's like every part of this fragrance and fragrance line is well thought out and simpatico and takes you into this British history of culture and royalty. 1872 for women, it's considered a citrus floral fragrance. It again contains that 20% perfume concentrate. It's clean and crisp. It's energizing, like a waft of fresh air in a citrus grove. Like, it's a perfect spring scent. Like I said, I just can't articulate it. It's clean doesn't begin to describe this fragrance. So the top notes of 1872 feminine is bergamot oil, which is distilled from the juices of 100 bergamot oranges, interspersed with the sugary notes of pineapple and blueberry, intermixed with Amalfi lemon, rosemary, and tangerine. Then you're brought into the heart of the fragrance, which is rose de mai. The soft velvety petals of over 170 rose de mai flowers are intermixed with osmanthus flowers, jasmine, purple violet, freesia, orchid, and lily of the valley. Then, as the base of the fragrance evolves, you're left with a patchouli oak moss combined with sandalwood, cedarwood, and musk scent. Start to finish though, this fragrance is fresh and clean and enjoyable. I never got to a point where I felt like it was more masculine or anything less than a breath of fresh air. As I said, the body of these fragrances isn't huge. You're not going to have, you're not going to make like a fragrance presence in a room. You're not going to be smelled from rooms away or have this huge scent trail, but it's not super soft either. Perfect mix between soft and bold in terms of body of the fragrance. Like I said, the life of the fragrance is, the longevity is superior. I just was really impressed with this entire fragrance line. I was impressed with the fact that in the creation of the fragrances, in the story behind the fragrances, in the way that the ingredients are collected, it's the epitome of luxury and care. The price of these fragrances is also luxury. In the world of niche fragrances, the cost is the average price in most niche fragrances that I have experienced lately. Considering the longevity of these fragrances and the care and precision that goes into every detail of this fragrance, I think it's well worth the cost. There was also an 1872 Mandarin version that aligned instead with the feminine masculine, it aligned with the ex Neroli. But I think I will save that for another video because the story behind it is quite the romantic tale. So again, my name's Katherine. Thanks for stopping by. If you are new to my channel, please make sure to hit subscribe and the notification bell so that you can be sure to be alerted when I post new videos. If you're a return watcher, thank you. Thank you for being loyal to my channel. Please make sure to also hit the like button, as that is kind of my tip. It really helps me out in the algorithm of YouTube, and if nothing else, gives me thumbs up, pat on the back, some encouragement to keep creating these videos, which I really do enjoy making. Please stay tuned. I have literally spent my rent in sample fragrances here lately, and there are so many that I am so excited to share with you. So please stay tuned for my upcoming videos. I want to make sure that I give justice to each of the fragrances, so I don't want to just post a quick willy-nilly video on my experience with them, but I want to really give you the history and the background of each of them, because I think that's the joy of niche perfumery, is the romance of the story behind it. A fragrance obviously is going to be enjoyable all on its own, but when you hear that backstory, it just gives all the more enjoyment to each of the fragrances. So again, my name's Katherine. Thank you for stopping by, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye. As a contribution to British